Good afternoon. This is David McKinney giving you a video demonstration of our Google Analytics or Google AdWords Analytics. I'm sorry. Um, I'm working with Frank Martino and Robert Rogers, where we're working with our mentor Bryce, and our project pretty much consists of taking the AdWords from his Fireplace campaign, running it through the Google Analytics API, and creating a table and just parsing through that data and making certain tolerance which are and making certain tolerances, and which just states, hey, how efficient are these words, just in layman's terms. Um, and we're running through PHP Storm, XAMPP, Sublime Text, and then we're just the Git Bash folders. That's pretty much all we're using there. So we can just go to the first. We can go to our user interface. So this is our web page. This is what it ultimately is going to look like once we finish everything and place it into here. Pretty much, as we discussed with Fleming, we to make it more interactive for our demo booth, we have to have a front end. So pretty much what our front end is going to do is just show. It's going to have the ad campaigns here, and each campaign consists of a bunch of ad group tests. And then from there, we should be able to place in the tolerances for each any tolerance that's going to be a number, which is just an efficiency percentage in a sense, which is a special formula that we will cook up. And then once we do that, it will face these words out. So we can, okay, we can try it here, and we can put in 100. Well, tolerance wouldn't be 100. It'll be a special percentage. It'll be maybe like 10%, 20%, 30%. But you would just place the regular number in here. Press 40, and the data would appear here after being parsed through our tolerance formula and being placed there, and it'll be shown here. And through each of these, we will have it will be able to be ordered through each of these columns here. So clicks, time on site, and these placeholders will be filled in with more pertinent information, and the terms will also be able to be parsed, or not parsed, but ordered whichever way you would like. So that's pretty much that for the front end. We also have some of the back end things. So we had to use XAMPP to pretty much communicate with the PHP and the HTML. So the XAMPP is what we're using for our databases, which also is here. We haven't set up databases yet. We're still running into a couple of issues here and there when it comes to security, but we do have. We've already created the key for it. We've already created the key for it, which would be here. Um, and Robert already created a PDO. So the PDO pretty much is the backend's interface, which is going to be interfacing with the PHP to the tables. So this is pretty much what we're going to need, and he's filling out the information now to communicate with our PHP and the databases table. So that is pretty important there. And then we also have here, we have the tolerance and the display terms. So these unfortunately aren't filled out. These will be filled out in later iterations, but I can just talk about what they'll do, what they'll be doing, what the placeholders mean. So pretty much the placeholders for this is the tolerances for the get terms. So pretty much what's going to happen once we have the database set up and once that database has been sent out to the user interface here, the tolerance here is what's going to call the specific ad campaign or the group from the ad campaign, which are different, and then it's going to run it through the algorithm here. So that's why the get terms is what we're calling this program per se. The get terms requires the tolerance and the group that is being called. And then also from there, once we figure out the algorithm and the special formula placed in there for each of the specific columns, we have the get terms and the post back onto the table. So once you finish once we finish parsing through the tolerance, we can post it back onto the table and have everything there for everybody to see. So that is very important to what's going on. We also have the display terms. So this is just for selecting the attributes that you will want to have, selecting the attributes that you will want to have parsed through our special formula to determine the tolerance for whichever column. So we have the clicks here. If you would select the clicks, and then you will get that tolerance. You get the tolerance ran on that column. You can have it ordered. You can do time on site, and then the other placeholders that we can have there. You know how much revenue each one earned, or how long, or how, that's also time on site. Okay, and pretty much that is it for what we have right now. So no, I know it's a little short, but for the next iteration, we're going to be pretty much getting to the bare bones of what's going on here, and hopefully we have more up and ready for the next iteration. Okay, you guys have a nice day.